Hello, everybody. I'm going to go ahead and get started. Just going to make sure that we are working here. I have my iPad on to make sure that everyone can see me. Hi, Dimitri from Thailand. Welcome. Okay, here we are. Let's go ahead and get started. So today the class is going to be on how to pronounce the letters O. There are several ways to pronounce these letters. So the way we're going to tackle this is we'll go through the different variations and we'll practice them one at a time. And then at the end, we will go through all of the words in order, going from the 5 different spelling variations. So if you have questions, please let me know. And I will try to save a few minutes at the end of class to answer all of those questions for you. So I just want to say thank you to everyone for all of your support. People seem to be enjoying these first Friday free lectures. So that's awesome. If you have any ideas for a short course or tutorial, please leave a comment in the section below. I also love feedback. I've made several changes to the classes based on your feedback. So please feel free, positives and ways to improve. I love to hear that. Lastly, don't forget to give us a like and a share. And if you are looking to further your practice, I now have 2 books available on Google Play or Google Books, one on how to pronounce consonant sounds and one on how to pronounce vowel sounds. Both of those books have audio examples for word lists and sentences and videos that are links to YouTube, so you can practice with all of those videos as well. I also have books available on iTunes, and those books, because Apple supports larger file sizes, also have videos embedded in them. So, all right, let's go ahead and jump right into the lesson. Oops. All right, so we're going to talk about how to pronounce the O letters. So most of you know letters are a nice guide, but they are not always a perfect recipe for pronunciation. So today we're talking about 2 things, pronunciation and spelling. So there are 5 ways to pronounce the letters O. And those are with the short sound, a long sound, a short sound, a long sound, or we can actually break these letters into 2 different parts and say something like O and then O as a syllable break when we're going to start another word. And we will get into directions for all of these in a minute. So let's start with the short sound. And let me show you my face. Okay. So this combination is confusing for a lot of my students because this sound does not occur in a lot of languages, but we use it in English. The good news is that this sound is difficult for you. There are not as many words that we use this sound in. So you can try to memorize the words that you do use and practice the sounds in those words. So to say the sound, number 1, it is short. And number 2, it is more relaxed. And what I mean by that is your lips are not going to be very tense. Your lips are going to be rounded and you are going to make the sound short. Okay, so we have the sound in took, cook, foot, stood. Cook, foot, stood, took. So let me show you those words and I'll say them again. Okay, so here are the words down here that we're talking about. Took, cook, foot, stood. And let's move to the next one. We have the long ooh sound. And let me show you my face for this one. And for this sound, these two sounds look similar, the short and the long ooh. And I think the reason they look similar to a lot of people is because both of these sounds are made with rounded lips, but you can see the difference. For the short sound, my lips are rounded and relaxed, and they are less rounded than in the long ooh sound, where I would kind of characterize the lips as being a little more puckered. And a pucker would be like you're blowing a kiss to someone. So that's more puckered. So again, long, tense sound, and we are going to say ooh, ooh. And you will hear this in the word mood, broom, and scoop. Mood, broom, scoop. You can actually see that because this sound is so rounded that my lips kind of start rounding for that beginning of the word, even though I'm not saying the vowel. Okay, so mood, broom, scoop. Okay, let me go ahead and show you these words. Okay. Mood, broom, scoop. Mood, broom, scoop. Why don't you give those words a try? Okay, let's move on to the next combination. This is really confusing for people, and this gets back to this short U sound. Really, we use the short U sound. This is the short U sound that we would use in stressed syllables. And since we're using these single syllable words, all of these will be a stressed sound. And we also use many, many sounds when we have the many, many letters when we have the unstressed schwa sound as well. So for this, I tell my students to just make sure you're working on your listening, and working on listening will help you then to realize when you should use this short sound, the stressed or the unstressed sound in words. We use it all the time in English. If you watched my class on how to pronounce states, we really use the sound a lot in longer words. So take a look at that if you're interested in this sound. But for today's purposes, we're going to talk about when the word is spelled with O-O. And for the short sound, you're going to have a really relaxed mouth, and it's a short vowel. And we have this combination in blood and flood. Blood, flood. Let me go ahead and show you my face. So the sound is very relaxed mouth. So it's essentially I'm just opening my mouth. And my tongue is just sort of generally in the middle of my mouth, and a nice short relaxed vowel. Blood, flood. Blood, flood. If you're getting confused between that sound in cook or took, look at that. Cook, took. I'm a little more rounded as opposed to in blood, flood. So again, the more rounded short sound in book and took, as opposed to the short sound, which is very relaxed in blood and flood. And at the end, if you're just joining me, we're going to go through all of these again, and I think that'll help you see the differences when we pronounce those all together. All right, moving right along, we have the long or combination. This is a tense, moving, long vowel. So what do I mean by that? Actually, let me stop sharing so you can see this. Some vowels in English are actually two vowels put together, and they make a brand new vowel. This is one of those cases. An R can be a vowel sometimes, and sometimes it can be a consonant. In this situation, we are going to move because we have two vowels together. And we are going to do or. So you can see my mouth is tense, my mouth is moving, and the vowel is long because I'm moving from very puckered lips or to rounded lips for this sound. Or. A few tips. Be sure to make that R portion of the vowel a little longer than you think. The mistake that I hear with a lot of my clients who struggle with that R sound is that they make it too short, especially when it's at the end of a word. So really hold that sound and make it longer. And then also don't relax your mouth too much for that portion of the vowel. You don't want to say it's an or not aura. You need to keep slight bit of tension and make those lips rounded. And you're going to hear this vowel in door, floor, and pour. So let me show you that. And I'm just checking over here. I see Fabian from Mexico, hello, and Javier from Ecuador. So thanks for the shout out and letting me know you're here. Okay, so let's try these words. Door, floor, pour. Pour, floor, door. And one more time. Door, floor, pour. Okay, all of you give that a try. And welcome to Alexander, who just popped up from Russia. I love it. From all over. All right, last but certainly not least, we have the letters OO pronounced in two different parts. And we see this a lot when we add the syllable co to a word, or when we have two words put together into sort of a compound noun. So we have cooperate, and microorganism. If you listen carefully, you'll hear that I make this O sound the schwa. Cooperate. I'm sorry, I totally messed that up. Cooperate. It's sort of an sound, but actually, let me go back there. Let me just do it normally. Cooperate. You might hear people say cooperate with the short sound. I'm kind of laughing now because I'm trying to do it. I'm actually messing up because it's not the way that I actually pronounce the word. I usually do the co. On this next word, microorganism, it's almost like you're just splitting this in two parts. Microorganism. So we have the micro, and then actually here we have that OR, so we're going to do the or. Microorganism. Let me show you my face on that one. Sorry if I confused any of you. To be honest, I was starting to confuse myself. And hello from Brazil, Karen. And from Poland, hello. I'm actually hoping to go to Poland possibly this summer. My husband has family there, and I would love to go and visit. All right, so let's take a look at the words. Cooperate. Microorganism. Okay, now let's go ahead and put it all together. Before we do that, does anybody have any questions about what we have done so far? Okay, it doesn't look like it, so let me pull up my word list. We'll go through the word list once with you reading the words, and then I'll take the word list away and just say the words by myself so you can see both options. Okay, let me take a sip of water because we got a lot of words here. Thank you, Karen. How sweet of you. I appreciate that you like the class. Okay. I'm just going to go ahead and read the word lists. I'm going to say the word, and then I encourage you to also say the word. Okay, so let's start at the top. Took, book, hook, look. Okay, so let's think about this. Since I'm not there to correct you, I want you to think about, is this short enough? Are you rounding your lips? And then if you're doing those two things, we're going to say another word, put, hood, would. Okay, how do those sound? Do they sound like what I'm saying, or at least close enough? Okay. And again, shout out if you have a question. Okay, let's keep going. Stood, good, woman. So I'm going to say all of those words a little bit quicker this time. Took, book, hook, look, foot, put, hood, would, stood, good, woman. Okay, awesome. Okay, now let me flip back here. And I'm just going to let you watch me say those words. Okay. I'm going to try to read over here and speak this way. So I hope I do okay. Took, book, hook, look, foot, put, hood, would, stood, good, woman. Now on woman, that looks a little different because I have to really round my lips for that W. Whoa. But you can see what I'm doing is I'm starting really rounded. Whoa, whoa. And I'm pulling back. One thing that I am going to add, and I'm going to bring you with me so you can see this. Would and would are pronounced exactly the same way. So these two words are pronounced exactly the same way. Okay. Okay, Alex, I'm sorry you have to go. Thank you so much for coming, and look back. I'm going to post this right after class, so you can go ahead and watch whatever you missed. So thank you. It was nice having you here. Okay, so let's move on to the long ooh sound. Okay, I'm going to say the words and you repeat after me. Boot, scoot, food, soon, food, scoop, tool, cool, pool, broom, tooth, moose, boom, noon, proof, shampoo, two. Can I read them a little bit faster this time? Boot, scoot, food, soon, food, scoop, tool, cool, pool, broom, tooth, moose, boom, noon, proof, shampoo, two. Okay, and then just to add a few more words, two, stew, all pronounced the same way. Okay, let me show you my mouth. Here we go. Boot, scoot, food. Okay, take a minute. How are you doing? Are your lips rounded and are you making this long? Soon, food, scoop, tool, cool, pool. Those words with the L at the end might sound a little bit different. L has some characteristics of a vowel. And so make sure that you are touching the tip of your tongue to the back of your top front teeth for that L sound. If you're not touching your teeth, make sure it's sort of like touching that ridge between your teeth and the skin on the roof of your mouth. And just kind of hold it there for a second to make sure we hear that sound, okay? So again, tool, cool, pool, okay? Broom, tooth, moose, boom, noon, proof, shampoo, two. Awesome. Okay, now we're going to move on to the short sound. This is a very uncommon pattern here. So I've got two words for you, blood and flood. There might be more, but I did a quick search and those are the only two that I could find. So again, we're on the short U. Repeat after me, blood, flood. Give those a try. Blood, flood. So quick check-in. Is your mouth relaxed enough? And are you making that nice and short? Blood, flood. Okay. And then let's move on to the or. We're on the or down at the bottom here. Repeat after me. Door, pour, floor, sore, core, more, snore, ignore, explore. Now, there will be many more combinations of this OR combination. I just wanted to kind of give you some quick examples and also to let you know that these words are pronounced the same, sore and sore. Okay, let's try those one more time. Door, pour, floor, sore, core, more, snore, ignore, explore. Okay, hello again. And now I'm going to go ahead and read those for you again. Door, pour, floor, sore, core, more, snore, ignore, explore. Okay, let's do a check-in. Were you moving your mouth? Okay, check. Are you making the R sound a little bit longer at the end? Check. Are you rounding your lips into a pucker for that first part, that O sound? Check. And is it long enough? Check. Okay. So, or, excellent. Okay. You'll also notice on that long or and on the long oo, because my mouth is so puckered that again, on both of those, you'll see that lip rounding and that puckering even before I get to the vowel. So you'll see that sometimes, and that might help you actually say those sounds a little bit clearer. All right, last but not least, we are on to the broken into two parts right down here. So we have cooperate, cooperate, coordinate, coordinate, microorganism, microorganism. This is a mistake. Cooccur, cooccur. Cooperate, coordinate, microorganism, cooccur. Okay. All right. So we are finished. One final thing. Let's take a look at a couple of words. Let me say these together for you. Look, and I'm going to add the boy's name, Luke, here. Look, nice and short, and Luke is nice and long. So look and Luke. A lot of my students confuse those two. Another confusing pair is foot, foot. Again, nice and short, and that quiet, voiceless T at the end, as opposed to the long oo and that hard voiced D, food, food. So we have foot, food. So look, Luke, foot, food. Okay, any other questions? Let me bring my iPad over here, see who else joined us. Let's see, another Alexander from Brazil. Hey, and welcome. Does anybody have any questions? I can just open this to a question about class, or just any class or any question in general that you might have. While I'm waiting, I will just let you know that I do post a new video every Friday. And I have a special video series right now on the months of the year and how to pronounce them. Those are posted at the beginning of every month. I also have a playlist on how to pronounce dates, so you can look for that on my channel if you're interested in that. I do these first Friday free quick tutorials, so if you have any suggestions for this, let me know. I also love all of your suggestions for videos. I eventually get to them. I am very fortunate that I have many requests from people, so I'm working on my list and just working my way down. So if you've asked for a video and I haven't made it, it might be ready to post, or it might be next on the list. So hang in there. If you need anything, you can also find me on Facebook. You can message me, Instagram, LinkedIn. I'm starting on Instagram, kind of figuring that one out. So yeah, find me all of those places. I have books on Google Play and on iTunes. I also have a website with some of my information, and I have classes if you're interested in that. Right now, just one-on-one, and I'm working on some group classes as well if you're interested. So Karen has a question. The last O sound is a little harder. Yeah, it's a true O sound. So in that section of the O that's broken into two parts, co is a true O, co-operate. And then that second O is a very open American ah. So co-operate, cooperate. Coordinate, coordinate, kind of the same thing. I have that O sound, which is different than the other sounds that we've talked about, so it is longer. Microorganism, same thing, a little bit longer. It's a true O in there. So that's actually an excellent question that I should have touched on. So thank you for that. It's that when a letter combination is broken into two parts, often that first part is an O, and then the second part is an or an ah, or another O even. Okay, so you have many options for that. I hope that answered your question. Anybody else? Okay, I don't think so. So thanks for coming. And thank you for all of your support and for liking us and sharing our videos and subscribing and just everything. I really have fun doing these, and I'm glad that you could all be here. So thank you so much. And yeah, Karen, everybody needs a little practice, don't we all, with so many things. So just hang in there and keep trying a practice tip. If you can practice several times throughout the day for even just 1 to 2 minutes, just read a word list. That helps a lot, because pronunciation, while it is part of language, we also have to use our mouth. And oftentimes the mouth is the part that is refusing to change because it likes a nice habit. And so by practicing throughout the day, it's easier to change the habit that you do with moving your mouth. So that's a great way to do it. Thank you, Nick29 Kit. I think that's your name. Oh, thank you, Karen. And thank you, everybody. So if you have any questions, you know how to reach me. And I appreciate you being here on a Friday. Thanks, everybody. Bye.